Well, hello there, fixed signs. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back. Um, so this is the zodiac season guide for Cancer season for fixed signs. That's Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Um, I have already pulled out your theme, the message, and the soul lesson. But I will be looking for your tipping point, so I'll be pulling your cards while I am recording. So let's go ahead and get started. So it looks like your theme for Cancer season is spirituality, which when the cards all started coming out, it began to make a little bit more sense based on the messages that I was getting. This is the second time I've tried to record your reading specifically. And I feel like that might be because there's just a lot going on for fixed signs right now. Like, as you know, the nodes are in, oh my gosh, excuse me, fixed signs right now. So it would not surprise me one bit to find out that fixed signs were going through a very specific and particular transformation in their lives right now. Okay. So with the spirituality card coming out, it tells me that many of you have come to a specific point in time where you're looking for something more. Okay. Or you have discovered or stumbled onto something that has allowed you to think a little bit bigger, and a little bit more, I don't want to say esoteric because that's not the right word, but it's expanded your consciousness in a way that you are naturally evolving to see beyond the veil and beyond the fog. Okay. So your message from Spirit for Cancer season is divine drunkenness. So about the time that this card popped out, I'm like, I'm sensing a theme here. So I feel like, for some of you, at least a group of you, you might have come out of a previous cycle where either you felt like you were being judged by the divine, or you might have been in the practice of perhaps judging other people, judging situations that you don't necessarily know anything about, and just being very prideful. And I feel like the reason that the spirituality card and the divine drunkenness are coming out is a larger theme for you, is because you might have gotten spanked by source for that. Okay. There's a deeper lesson in taking the past viewpoints that you have in regards to maybe judging others, and being very prideful. And I feel like this experience or this lesson has, like I said, it's cleared the fog. It's allowed you to see in those liminal spaces. And I would even say it's cracked open your third eye going through this. So divine drunkenness, oh my gosh, my goodness. Okay. Divine drunkenness is a card that speaks to the stage in the hero's journey of resurrection. Okay. So you're being asked to effectively surrender to source. Okay. Surrender to what you don't know, surrender to, you know, previous thoughts and viewpoints about yourself and about others, and to just come to the table with an open mind and an open heart, right? This experience is allowing you to become a much higher evolved person than I feel like you have been. And as a result of that, and I think as a result of your experience, I feel like some of you will be sharing what you've gone through on a larger stage. For some of you, I keep hearing music and a specific song. I don't remember what the song is called. I'll have to look it up, and if I can find it, I'll post that in the comments or the description box. But I feel like for some of you, you may be involved in like the entertainment industry. Perhaps you're a singer. Okay, specifically I'm hearing singer, but I'm hearing like rap and hip hop music. So you could be a rapper. And you're taking the experience that you've had in your spiritual evolution and you're incorporating that into your work to get a larger message across. And I would say very creatively so. So the spiritual lesson for you ultimately is about compassion. Okay. Compassion to self, compassion for others, and the anxiety that you've been possibly experiencing. I think some of you probably have been, related to this, related to self, or what could be viewed as a loss of self, um, when not in the highest mental vibration. This is actually due to your evolution as a person, okay? Now, I feel like what I'm picking up is the end, or, okay, that's not the right word. So, like, the last leg of a self-improvement journey that you may have already started, and right now you are in what would be termed as a sacred storm, okay? And it's kind of like being in a blizzard. I'm speaking from personal experience here. Things can be very foggy. You can't necessarily see. You have a sense of where you need to go and what you need to do. And at a certain point, like, for example, in a snowstorm, when there's a whiteout and you can't see more than, 10 inches in front of your face, you're really kind of using your instincts and intuition to guide you to where you need to go and into safety and such. So the larger lesson, I feel like, in that for you is learning to drop your inhibitions and trust in source. I'm picking up for some of you, confirmation. You may be struggling with how to quantify your experience in words, okay? And I'm being instructed to communicate with you that the words 100% are important, but you want to also pay attention to the vibration itself of your music, okay? Let the music itself transport people, your audience, where you would like them to go, what you would like them to experience or feel in regards to what you're talking about, okay? So who you were effectively is gone. Okay, at the end of the day, this is a transformation. It is a death of the ego. I feel like you have experienced, or at least many of you have experienced. And who you are is truly emerging right now. Again, you're in that sacred storm. So following your intuition is key, because it may not be quite visible to you at this time, at least with your physical eyes, exactly where you're supposed to go. Okay. So, one particular symbol that you will, like a synchronicity that you may pick up on over Cancer season, is drunkenness. People being drunk, references to people being drunk or being inebriated in some fashion. And again, it's like symbolically inviting you to drop any inhibitions that you've placed on yourself that may not necessarily be helping you grow. Okay? Again, sacred storm. You've got to break out of the storm, and to do so, follow that intuition. All right? But if you're constantly talking to yourself saying, I'm not sure if that's what that really meant, or that doesn't make any sense, for advice, it's important to think a little bit broader, because I would say at this particular time, probably more than any time, at least recently, you are in a direct line of communication with source for your growth. Okay, so let's go ahead and dig into your tarot cards. And remember, I am looking for the tipping point. So, bear with me here as I shuffle and get these out. Hopefully it is not too loud on just audio. Oh, beautiful. Okay, we've got the Magician popping out first. All right. Five of Cups, Two of Wands, okay, I feel like this Two of Wands card is particularly important, so we may end up digging into that with the clarifiers. All right, what is the tipping point for fixed signs? All right, Page of Pentacles. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right, next to the Page of Pentacles. Oh boy, you have the Ten of Swords, the Page of Wands. That's 2 pages in your reading, fixed signs. Okay. Ooh, okay, and a whole plethora of cards coming out at the end. Okay, so you've got a little bit more than 7 cards. Bottom of the deck is the Four of Pentacles. So for some of you, okay, I'm getting a couple of storylines here. So there's some of you that may be blessed with financial abundance, and I feel like perhaps whether it's family, whether it's community, friends, you may not have been as giving as you possibly could. Now, I say that with the person in mind who's in the type of situation where they could kick someone down $500 and it wouldn't make a dent in their account. Okay. So that's not going to be everybody, and that won't resonate with everybody. For others of you, oh boy. Oh, okay. For others of you, I feel like you were brought to the doorstep of the phone booth with a direct line to the communicator because you may have been participating in some behaviors that did not contribute to your growth as a person. We've got the Devil card, the Seven of Cups, and the Eight of Wands that popped out together in your last position. I would say that I feel like this is substances, some types of substances. For some of you, it actually may have been alcohol with this coming out and being referenced, I'm feeling like multiple times here in this reading, which that would certainly make sense to inspire you to get drunk, if you will, off of the love of the divine versus a physical man-made substance. Like, you know, there's a reason why hard alcohol is called spirits. Okay. And I feel like this change was very sudden. So it may have been, you know, one weekend, for example, you went out drinking with, you know, your buds. You may have had a little bit too much or not realize you had a little bit too much. And, you know, perhaps that led to a very negative conclusion of the night. There's any number of ways that can happen when you consume too much alcohol. So I'll let you kind of figure that out on your own if this is something that resonates with you. But either way, this change that had to be made came in very quickly. Okay. And for some of you, I feel like this process of evolution that you've been in has there's a lot of loss that has occurred. Okay. And I do feel like that level of loss is what has contributed to some of the anxiety that you are experiencing because of that loss. That when we're talking about things that may have been a part of you for many years, like decades, even for some of you. Okay. And when we participate in things for that long, you know, habits, substances, dealing with people, it becomes a bit of a habit, right? And those habits and routines, we become so used to them, even if they're not healthy for us, right? So then when we go and then we remove them, it can literally feel like a loss has occurred. Okay. It's the closest, I guess, analogy I can think of is, let's, talk about dieting. All right. So you've got someone who, they go in for routine testing to the doctor. They find out they've got a serious issue with their blood sugar, and they're used to every Friday going out to their favorite ice cream place and eating a big sundae and then going out to eat after that, and pick any of those types of routines, right? And now suddenly that routine has to change because this person has to eat healthier, quite literally, for their health, right? So it's a loss. And granted, you're thinking, okay, a Sunday is not the same as losing my car, losing my home, losing my partner, right? But a loss is a loss. As far as energies are concerned, it's on a spectrum, because most things are on a spectrum in our particular dimension, but it still is qualified as a loss. Okay. So I feel like part of you has been working through that. Now, what you're not realizing, or I think what some of you may not have put together, is that this was a self-initiated change here. I mean, the Magician is kicking off your reading here. So this is something that you manifested. That also could be part of the reason why, confirmation. That could also be part of a reason why there's so much anxiety attached. Like, I keep hearing anxiety. And I also keep hearing money. So for some of you, this could be that you walked out of your job. Someone said the wrong thing. Something happened that shouldn't have, and you just said, I'm not doing this anymore, and left. And that's a really rapid change, and that most definitely constitutes a loss and would explain why you've got the Four of Pentacles underneath, at the bottom of the deck as well. New is coming, though. Better is coming. Because you've made this choice to invest in yourself, you do have abundance coming. That's 100% representative of the Page of Wands, the Page of Pentacles here, which is your tipping point, okay? But I do feel like there are a few more lessons that are in store for you, so brace yourself, all right? I do want to clarify a couple of things on here, because I gotta say that I'm not really liking the Ten of Swords appearing after your tipping point. Typically with these readings, the cards that appear after are better. They tend to be in more positive cards, which is a symbol that you learned the lesson that was a part of this particular leg of your journey. So, I mean, for some of you, it's possible that there may be a relapse here, and that's what the Ten of Swords is talking about. I would say don't try to hide it if you do relapse, because I feel like there is a supportive community around you, but it may not be who you think it is. Okay. So yeah, I don't hide if you relapse, because then you can't get the assistance that you need. Okay. And once again, I do feel like this is a self-initiated change. This was a choice that you made. You knew that there would be loss, as evidenced by the Five of Cups, but you chose to move forward anyway, as evidenced by the Two of Wands. So you're heading in the right direction, but I'm not quite sure where things turn. So So let's see here. Okay. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is that, generally speaking, the Ten of Swords, it's a really nasty looking card to look at, right? It doesn't exactly inspire the warm and fuzzies. However, the Ten of Swords, I like to think of it as the energy of nowhere to go but up, if that makes sense. You've experienced all the crap, all the crap that you could possibly, even more than you thought you could possibly deal with or handle, and there's nowhere to go but up because you've hit rock bottom, okay? And what the King of Wands is telling me is that you have the strength to pull yourself out of this, even though you may not feel like you can, okay? There really is heavy relapse energy here, and then trying to hide the fact that you've relapsed on top of that. So the deck that I'm using is the Tarot of New Vision for your tipping point, right? Or for your tarot cards. And in this particular deck, there is a figure that is walking towards the person laying on the ground with the 10 swords in their back. Now, I don't know if this is necessarily a mentor, but I do feel like it is an ally, okay? This is someone who will help you, okay? But you can't hide from it, and you can't lie to them. They'll find out anyway, and no one will be better off if you do, okay? But I do feel like strength is required for you, that self-fortitude, to get yourself through this. Can I get one more, please? Yeah, okay, so this person actually might be like a father figure or a father. Could be your father. So the card that I'm getting on top of the three that fell out, the Devil, the Seven of Cups, and the Eight of Wands, shows two characters. Well, it shows a character holding what would appear to be like a porcelain mask, and they're blindfolded, and the eyes are closed on the mask. So I take this as choosing not to look deeper at the source of this problem, of this relapse, of even what inspired your spiritual journey, okay? It's kind of interesting when we're on the path of a spiritual journey, how it can seem like it started out because of, A, and it really had to do with, D, the reason that you're on your spiritual journey. So I would encourage you to reflect right now on where you are, the choices that you made to get there, okay, and recognize that you are in that sacred storm, but storms do pass, okay? Fixed signs. So that's all I've got for you. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up since we're like 23 minutes in. Oh, make that 24 minutes in. But thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel immensely, and I've been out of the game for almost a year, so I need y'all help. Okay. But again, that's all I've got for you, fixed signs. Remember, your peace is your power, and I will see you soon. Bye.